Hi guys, continue video. So today we'll take a look on another multiplayer game from the Scouring, and this time it will be quite interesting game that is in format 2v2 v2v2, so 4 teams with 2 players. We are playing on the only 8-player map right now, and we can also take a look on the teams, and you can already see that something is probably not quite right here when we take a look on the teams, because I'm with the black player here named Fedor, and he spawned right here, so we are basically across the whole map from each other. While the other teams are together, because the white player is with the blue player, the red player is with the yellow player, and the purple player is with the teal player. So everyone is right next to each other. We have really bad spawn, so that will make it much more difficult. We will be basically playing alone, and my ally will be also playing alone, even though we are still allies. But yeah, outside of that we have Urakar here with Outplayed, Solstice with Gochuane, and then Isleter with Gengable. This game was actually played on the stream that I did this weekend, so it will be also in the video from the stream, but I wanted to make it as a separate game as well and commentate it from the replay perspective, so we can take a look on what every player was actually doing during the game, because it was quite interesting, I think. So let's take a look on that. We will resume the replay, and let's see. We are starting in this top right position. We are playing as humans with the orange color. And I'm doing my traditional opener with barracks and sawmill. On this position I like to do this building placement. This sawmill is really good, so you have faster wood. You could potentially even place it here, but I think there is less trees overall, and also you wouldn't be able to protect it with barracks. Another option would be here in the front, which might actually work quite well, but once again it's quite far away from the town hall. The thing is that here you can still bring the wood quite quickly to the town hall. So I'm not still quite sure about the sawmill position. It probably might be also possible to place it here. Barracks definitely into this position, because you are protecting both entrances, and at the same time you can lurk the troll from here on your barracks immediately and kill him with your archers. So that's definitely really important. Here in the back you just have a huge space for building. If you need something in the late game, maybe you can just place all of your farms here. Or some other things, yeah, like stables, church. And then we have this place in the front. So this position is really good in terms of building space. You have lots of space to place down your buildings. Right now I'm placing my farms on this side, quite far away from the barracks. So maybe it would be actually a good idea to swap it, but then you still need to protect the peasants here on the wood if you place your sawmill here. And also you will remove your protection at the front. You will have a wider entrance, so I'm not too sure about that in the early game. These trees are much safer and there is lots of them, so I think this is also good. We are immediately lurking the troll on us. Nothing too crazy, just try to shoot him, micromanage your archers out of his range so you don't take any damage. Then you go on your top of your barracks and you kill him. He hits the barracks, which you don't take almost any damage from him. That's like 3 damage per shot, yeah, so per hit. Pretty easy. Here is Urakar, one of my enemies. He actually decided to make his sawmill a lot, really far away. I would still place it just here or here. He's utilizing this, but first of all there is this troll that might as well just harass his peasants if he's not careful enough. That's the first issue, and second issue is that you won't be able to protect this during the night, so I don't really feel like this is the best idea. Also, I'm not even sure, but I don't think he left enough space here for the main building. If he wanted to build the expansion from this side, then I don't think he left enough space here. He would need to push this further away, because you have to keep quite decent distance between the town hall and the gold fields. Maybe you could place it down here, but I'm not too convinced about this. Now if he lurks the troll now, I'm afraid he will actually lurk him on the peasants. Trying to do something here, but he didn't shoot him again, so he lost him. Yeah, so struggling a little bit with the micromanagement, but interesting idea with this strategy. His ally is quite far away, not as far away as my ally, and there is no one between them, so they could really easily take these bases. I mean, there is no reason to not take this expansion, but if the enemy was actually here and his ally was on my position, for example, then this might make sense. Now he actually lurked it into his farms. You have to be really careful how you position your buildings. If you are trying to lurk the troll like this, you also kill it just with archers, same as me, so we both got reduced gold from it. They reduce the gold you get from killing with archers. But before he killed the Charo, I already cleared the whole wolf camp. Wolves den, so lots of resources. Now goblins are harassing him, at the same time trying to attack here. I got one kill there. Maybe I'll actually lose one archer now. I lost level 2 archer, I think, actually. So I decided to go back one more time so I at least finish this guy. So I trade one lost unit for 2 kills, even though I was level 2, but still at least something. Now we return back and defend against the knight, while I'm going for expansion as well. Here we have his ally, outplayed, playing as the purple empire here. Struggling a little bit with food. Overall seems pretty decent. Here is the yellow player, Gangable. I don't know these guys in the yellow and red team. But this player also making archers. Very open base here, like so far away from everything. But he wanted to close this, I guess. And then for some reason place the farms here instead of here, but okay. Probably wants more production buildings on this side. Here is his ally. Also lots of archers. Interesting base. Here we have black player, I think that's Soulskeeper. No, that's sorry, this is actually my ally, Fedor. Soulskeeper is playing as blue. Oh, my ally is playing really safe here. Nothing too interesting. I'm the only one, not only one going for base, actually Soulskeeper is also going for a base. Basically at similar time as me, so I will have it a little bit sooner. But he has the ally here, yes, so it's really safe for him. He's even writing now that he's going for expansion. At the same time clearing this outpost, which is really useful. His ally also has some archers. Yeah, it seems like everyone is going for archers here, which is usually a sign of those players at least having some experience. Because if you start with the game right away, you will probably just make some swordsmen or warriors, because you won't probably start with sawmill at the same time as barracks. Everyone goes immediately just archers. It's usually a sign that the players definitely have some experience. Urakar finally, let's say, cleared this, but as I said, I don't think he can fit in the town hall here. So we'll see what will be his decision. Here I decided to take the outpost, so I have first of all some vision and also control point in case these guys decided to attack on me, and also if Urakar, for example, decided to go this way, or even his ally maybe might come to help him. White is clearing the wolves here, so we're already getting pretty close to me. I just made 2 swordsmen to capture it. Overall, I don't think we lost any units except the level 2 archer here against Urakar. Actually, yeah, he's building barracks. I was pretty confused that this would be a town hall since it's so close to the gold veins. Yeah, this is just second barracks for some defense. Also an option. I'd say that he saved the more safe trees for later. Even though now he's struggling with defense a little bit. He needs to bring something this area. So people are already going for smithy. Clearing it here in the back. Rather similar to my position, as you can see. We both have this capsule in the back where you can build. This one is really divided by the trees. If you clear it, we have like a huge base here. This is more divided by the mountains, but also a few trees here as well. Those 2 positions are definitely pretty similar in this. There is another capsule here, but there is a wolves then, I think. Unfortunately, now I try to regroup my units and the swordsman just went this way instead of through the back. So I lost both of my swordsmen. But I already have my smithy. I think we'll start producing our first cannon now. Making some more farms, some more archers. But struggling with wolves a little bit. I saw the troll here before, so I wanted to take him out, and now I saw that he's already dead. So I was pretty afraid that the white player is gonna attack me now. But I didn't necessarily want to stick with this area. I just sent 4 archers here to guard me, or guard that area, protect me from there. And then I went for a regroup on this side. Urakar is now also going for expansion, power building with lots of peasants, so his income is now reduced by a lot. If we check his stats, he has like 450 food, I have almost 600, so like 150 more. In terms of resources, I have 1000 gold, 600 wood. He has only 500 gold and 250 wood. So with like double resources and also more food, which means definitely way better position. Now I'm also going for second barracks. He already went for fort, but since he's not immediately going for stables, I just don't think this is really worth it. You shouldn't really go for fort unless you want to make knights, because you don't need it for anything else except the protection. But since he has barracks here, I know that he was struggling during the first night a little bit with defense of these peasants, but second night is multiple minutes away, so you don't need to rush the fort this quickly. And now he's also going for another fort here. White player actually took this base, so now these guys have both expansion, and my ally actually decided to push into them. He has some nice levels on these archers, he has lots of them, so actually a really good push against these villagers. Unfortunately, obviously they spawned next to each other, so they will be fighting 2v1 there, and I can't really help my ally. I could have ignored Urakar and just keep him developing here, and help my ally to destroy these two enemies, and we would probably kill them, even though they can stay together and we have to push from two different sides. But I think it would be possible if this bottom team wouldn't push against my ally. But I really didn't know how everyone spawned, what was the situation, and I knew that if I let Urakar live here for too long, then he will just make mass knights and rush on my economy, which I didn't want to happen. So I rather just decided to clear his base early, and somehow just left my ally 1v2 here. He was saying that I should come left. I could have cleared his expansion, probably had a zero a little bit, maybe even kill one of them, but as I said, I would be up to big danger here. It's true that the bottom team was actually attacking against the the yellow player was attacking against the purple player, probably later with the help of the red player as well. So potentially Urakar might take his units and come help his ally down here, and then I would be safe, and it would be like double 2v2. But since I didn't know what was the situation, and as you can see some units were already pretty close, I really had to be careful. And it's just always better to kill the closest enemy instead of trying to create some complicated strategy. Yeah, so even though my ally is dying here, I can't really help him much. And here I already have cannons, so I can really easily siege down these barracks. But at the same time, I outplayed down here is getting attacked and he needs help from Urakar. Yeah, so I mean, if I knew this, then I could really easily help my ally and keep him alive, even though he won't die immediately, but it would definitely help him a lot if I started pushing from the other side. Now he just lost his expansion and everything. Actually, these guys are going for the red player, I didn't even know this at all. Here I just continue pushing with cannons. Urakar doesn't have any. He tried to go for the knights, now he has also smithy, but he doesn't have the resources for it yet. And these two guys actually tried to attack on the red player. Unfortunately, he has really strong defense here, so they were forced back. My ally is still just losing units. He needs to rebuild his infrastructure in the back, since he can't really use this. And here we obviously just continue pushing. I have cannons. He neglected that, went for knights quickly. Usually won't work in these situations. He would need really open map, good macro, and ideally really quick heals. So instead of going for double fort, he should have went for fort and castle, and then into church and heals. Then it might work, but this is a really close position, so here it wouldn't help at all anyways. For this you just need cannons. He could have used the knights to rush on my economy from the other side, but I had the tower here, so I would scout it. Then probably come back quickly. Create some new defense. Now I'm also going for knights as well already. And now he made the biggest mistake, just ran into my cannons. Obviously can't help. To be honest, if he was in this situation, he should have probably just accumulate more knights in the back, wait for me to destroy these first buildings. Yeah, maybe retreat from this base. He would stay on one income, that's true, but he would still be able to at least save the peasants, save his whole army, and then once I would be in a more open space, not just this ultra narrow canyon, then he could rush me from multiple sides with the knights and potentially do something. Probably still wouldn't work, but he would definitely have a higher chance of doing something there effectively. But yeah, my ally is fully locked in his starting base. His expansion is captured by the white player. He doesn't have anything to destroy the buildings, since he's making only archers, and the player didn't really come there with anything else either. So they can destroy it. Actually, there is one warrior, okay, but overall it's not really destroyed. But my ally can't really get there. The red player is actually extremely passive. He was just staying AFK in his base. Unfortunately, the purple player wasn't able to repel this. So the yellow player actually destroyed him. 1v1 here. And actually there were some warriors and even archers of the red player, so it wasn't pure 1v1. But it was mainly the yellow player. At the same time I killed Urakar, so this team is basically dead now. They got taken out immediately. They had the second worst spawn. I had the worst one with my ally, but they are, even though they are next to each other, they are also quite far away from each other. So definitely we had some difficulties there. I don't know why this team in the top left corner didn't finish my ally. Of course, he has decent defense here, but a few cannons would really easily deal with that. And they could have gotten free expansions, better map control, and overall just much better position. Instead, they were constantly accumulating more units at home, making this almost nonsense defense. Yeah? There is no shadow areas around this outpost, and they have like 8 level 2 archers with potions on it, so they should be definitely using that. Maybe even capture the middle. Now when they have this location, they could be farming neutrals here. Instead they actually let my ally farm there. So that was definitely a huge mistake. The bottom team, I mean the yellow player was playing as good as he could. Now he actually decided to retreat a little bit, I think, or maybe he got actually killed there. He doesn't have too many units remaining, and seems like there is a lot of skeletons everywhere. The cannons of the purple player. But yeah, the yellow player is definitely getting harassed a little bit as well. Red player too, but they both have expansion, so they are pretty much okay. The blue player now already has 3 bases, so definitely the most resources. I definitely I definitely will take this expansion too soon, maybe even this one, but first I need to re-establish during the night somehow. There is still lots of skeletons coming from everywhere. Basically everyone is struggling with the skeletons a little bit, as you can see. Celsius is definitely struggling a lot here. White player not as much, but he has only 2 bases. With pretty good vision there, so that's not too dangerous. Yeah, my ally also really well defended. You can see some skeleton damage being done here to the red player, also before to the yellow player. This guy is of course dead. That is dead, and I'm also losing some economy here. But I already set up castle. So we will be going for church soon, and then we of course get the heal ability. We already started producing knights, I believe, yeah, at least 2 of them. And we finally set up our third base, so we have double expansion. So I think pretty interesting situation. Basically one team was fully eliminated, and now there is this situation where there is the team on the top, the team on the bottom, and basically between them on each side is me and my ally. So either way they go, they will either attack on me first or on my ally from both top and bottom. There is like no way the teams could fight against each other unless they either go through the expansion of my ally or through this my base right here. Or they would have to destroy these trees or something like that, but that would take forever. So right now we are basically locked in between those 2 teams. But as we saw, the red player is pretty much passive. The yellow player still needs to finish this purple guy, so that will still take some time. And if these guys will continue fighting with my ally, we should also have enough time ourselves to develop something. We found lots of resources during the night, so that's really good. We are on 1300 food. Now the white player is actually coming here, and he started attacking my archers. I had those 4 on the outpost, but of course that's not enough, so I'm immediately bringing my army, which should be definitely enough to deal with him. He managed to clear 3 archers there. I also killed 2 there, so not the worst trade. And I wanted to check the food, so we have 1360. Keeper is like 1100. Red player 900. Car is dead, outplayed as well. My ally actually, let's check that. Actually, three times. Almost 900 as well, so not as bad. White player 770. I mean, he has lots of resources. The white player had a really good position, close ally, and he has so many resources, but he was just not producing effectively. If he was spending all of this, he would have the strongest army probably. Or Soulkeeper, but he is spending the resources quite okay. Even though he had third base first, and I still have more units, so maybe actually wasted some units somewhere, I'm not sure. And then we have the yellow player. Also not the most units, decent resources. Definitely produce some more, and now definitely take the bases that he just conquered here. Now we see once again my ally getting pushed by both the blue player and the yellow and the white player. Insane pressure from both of them. Yeah, lots of archers and knights at the same time. Also actually the neutral enemies that I seeing here. So really difficult. At the same time I decided to push on the white player and take out this expansion. Because now I basically cleared this side. And on this side I just continue pushing here. Because this was already secured. Of course there is more enemies down there, but this was the closest one to me. So now I'm trying to take control of this side. I can still take one more expansion here before taking this one, but I didn't want the enemy to have this under his control and potentially utilize it instead of me. I wanted to have it available for later at least. Here he set up some cannons and archers, so my knights will fall, but I needed to sacrifice them to take out the cannons. We have like 15 cannons ready here, so that should be pretty easy push. Unfortunately, they totally decimated my ally expansion. The player was finally taken out. There is only one last barracks. And here we just continue pushing. Similar amount of archers, but I have probably better levels. And as I said, I have lots of cannons, few knights behind that. So maybe now they could finally finish my ally, but thanks to my push, they have to retreat. And now they are coming with lots of knights and munchers at the same time, while I have only like four knights here. But thanks to so many really good archers and also the cannons here, I can really effectively utilize my army to take them out, even 1v2. Of course they are already weakened a little bit by my ally, but they didn't lose too many units there. This basically, in terms of armies, 1v2. Unfortunately, as you can see, the yellow player now destroyed the purple player in the bottom right corner, and now he is coming pretty quickly for my bases. So right now I'm in the middle of enemy base fighting a 1v2, and he's already pushing into my base, so we'll quickly need to rebuild some defense. Yeah, Outplayed and Turakar are constantly asking in the observers chat. I was saying that he's curious if I'm gonna win this. Definitely didn't look good, because now I think I still wouldn't finish them. They still had their full incomes, they have 3 bases for the blue player. The white player was pretty much without income, but overall, yeah, now the knights ran on me from the back, but I just really needed to quickly retreat here. Like I was saying, that probably the red and yellow team are gonna win this. And we can see that now they destroyed my expansion. They can continue this way where I have just few archers, no serious defense. Here the knights are totally destroying me, munchers from the other side. Here I try to set up at least few cannons for some decent defense. But overall, definitely pretty difficult situation. Yellow player finishing basically everything that I've set up here. I was trying to go for another base. I had some barracks here, even farms. And they just destroyed everything. And keep in mind that my main income is already empty, and this one, the first expansion, is also already free. Only 3 gold fields or gold veins remaining. So overall we lost most of our income. These guys are still spamming archers, munchers, knights and everything. So I wasn't even able to push this without sending more units to the attack. And at the same time here I'm already using half of my base. And now, just for it to not be too small of a problem, the red player is also coming, so now it won't be just 2 players here and the yellow guy here. Now it will be 2 players from each side, so it's basically a pure 1v4 right now. My ally is actually still helping me a little bit, that's true, so not pure 1v4, because he's harassing them a little bit at home, but it really looks like they don't really care. They are just continuing their push here. At the same time, yellow player is already in my base, immediately attacking the barracks. All of these archers will just take my archers out. And even though we still have some resources, also decent food, it's really difficult now. They also destroyed lots of my production buildings, so I just really need to retreat with my main army and somehow take it. Fortunately, my ally, how he's harassing, he re-cleared some peasants, destroyed their defense, and now this is looks like a city of ghosts. Literally no one on the farms, and the white player should be pretty much dead. I don't know how many resources he has. Yeah, he can definitely recover, but it will take him lots of time. Right now I have to deal with this, with the yellow and red attack. Fortunately with lots of cannons, so if we aim it right, we should be able to take him out, of course, or take both of them out. Of course I will destroy my own buildings, but that's not the priority right now to save them. First we need to just force the army out of our base, and I'm of course still producing peasants in all of my main buildings to quickly recover from this push. We should already have heals, I believe. I'm not sure where I've put my church. Maybe I don't have church yet. But I made castle a long time ago. Maybe I had it in the front bases, researched the heal, and yeah, I have definitely heal. I probably had it in the front base and they destroyed it, but you don't lose the ability once you researched it once. My ally continued pushing it with some archers, but now he got totally destroyed. Even had some knights, so now it's just mostly the neutral enemies they're fighting. And I guess my ally probably doesn't have any more resources. Yeah, he has decent wood, he's farming some gold from the neutral enemies during the night, but overall he doesn't have too many resources left. Yellow player tried to take a new base here, getting harassed a little bit, but still quite okay. Red player has another base, but actually kinda struggling here. But overall the incomes on the map, or like the base options, are getting pretty narrow. The bases got already pretty destroyed. I'm gonna lose this now, and now I only have just income from these two small gold veins. Fortunately, my enemies went kinda all in, especially this top team. Now even pushing against my ally again, and I think this will finally finish him. So I will lose my ally. We haven't really fought in a single fight together, but it was still nice to have someone here who could always gang them from behind. So now we will lose him, unfortunately, and it will become a pure 1v4, let's say, even though they will also eventually start fighting with each other. But for now I think the teams haven't fought against each other yet, except the small push here in the beginning from the white and blue player, but they immediately retreated, so probably not a single unit was lost there. I have this smithy in the front. I had second one back in here, but that got destroyed, so now we have only one. I have, yeah, I made new barracks here because I was really afraid of the push from the white and blue team. And here I at least had one barracks, even though I also rebuilt this, I was there before, so we probably lost everything except one barracks. Now we have three, and I made my second smithy actually here, so we have it both on this side. The main goal was now to just somehow survive the night. Now we ran out of all incomes, and yeah, so the strategy is just to survive the night, clear as many neutral enemies as we can, so we gather as many resources as we can, and then once the day starts, which is basically now, we immediately go take probably both of these bases, create some new production buildings, regroup our army a little bit more in the front, and hopefully re-establish some decent infrastructure again, with some decent stable income, because right now we have maybe the strongest army. We can double check that. 1400, that is 1000, 1300. Okay, the red player has a really strong army, yellow player 850, and yeah, the white guy probably not too much, only 400. So it seems like the yellow and red players, red team down there, are definitely much stronger. But the blue player is also doing pretty good. He still has full income here. He just needs to remake some peasants for that. Actually, his main income is still running. And there is no more gold here, but he can definitely at least get some extra food here and other things. Now they can also take this base that they just conquered. This is still not taken, even though I will try to definitely defend it for myself. Some neutral archers harassing me again. We need to take care of them quickly. And now I'm going for this base, as I said. This is the more lucrative one now because there is lots of gold. This one is already half empty, so not as important for me right now. The yellow player set up 3 barricades here, definitely trying to just gather here. He doesn't want to worry about any archer harassment. White player also set up a cannon here, so potentially he wants to take this base. There is not too many other options. And actually the blue player decided to rush with his knights into the red base, which was definitely interesting choice. But I think this was a really bad idea, even though he has good levels and even some potions and he's good using his heals. He just has no chance. Yeah, he will probably get some kills, but there is lots of archers, even some cannons and lots of munchers. I think this is just a waste of resources, waste of units. Now even the yellow player is actually coming to help him. He could still potentially retreat, but he will probably get shot in the back and lose most of his units without really achieving much. Now the white player is coming there, trying to help him, but it was a huge throw. They didn't even bring their archers with them, which seems like their biggest armies. Overall, I think this was a huge mistake from the blue player. If they took everything they had and pushed into me, they might kill me, to be honest. I have really good knights here, and I also still have some archers and lots of cannons, which would be really hard to push for them, especially in this narrow place. They wouldn't have any way of actually pushing through me, and with the cannons I would probably still be able to repel it, but they would have much higher chance than just randomly running here with like 10 knights into a whole enemy base. Even though now actually they managed to clear it here somehow. Not even sure how we should have avoided that. The yellow player had lots of knights there. I guess he wasn't really using heals, or he doesn't even have church yet. He has church, maybe he doesn't have the cure ability researched. I would kinda expect him to have that. The main problem is that now we basically ran out of all trees here. These are behind the edge of the map, so we can't gather that. There is only few left in the corner. So overall, yeah, a few here, but outside of that we just have to go in front of our base and start gathering in the expansions. Fortunately now I at least have one full income, and the attention of the other two teams have gotten to this side of the map, so they started fighting each other, and I have pretty safe gathering now. Red player actually ran out of income. Yellow is finishing this one, and then he still has this one. I'm not sure why the red player started gathering here when there is the yellow town hall. I don't think you can use the drop point of your ally, so yeah, to carry it far away. Fortunately now I have really good time to recover. We are going for the base here safely on the side, so in case he tries to push me through here, maybe he will just totally miss it and not even see it. At the same time I decided to go for the middle. There is a free expansion, so we just kill the troll, even some extra resources, that's always really good. Immediately building the expansion there, and of course also want to take this outpost, which is already cleared. I just need to bring some swordsmen, which I already produced here, and now we go for the middle, which is really good. We get lots of scouting from the goblins here, and also some control point, so overall we want to take this always. Now the blue and white team are attacking again on the red player. His yellow ally is quite far away, so not really able to help there much. And there is lots of archers of the blue team and also the player there, so this doesn't look too good for the red player. Also there are knights who can constantly heal. I don't think I'll be pushing into them now, but I just want to take the tower, as I said. Just trying to establish some economy, because as I said before, the last night I got totally destroyed from two sides. I was almost dead, so I wasn't really staying too aggressive. This was my only hope that they would start fighting each other, which they actually did, so that gave me some time to recover. Of course I'm still alone here. Those are two teams that have two players in each of them. I just maybe need a little bit more bases and better decision making, because they are both wasting lots of units here. But obviously, yeah, for both teams the bigger threat should be the other team of two players. If either of them wasted their resources on killing me, then they would probably lose the game anyways, yeah? So even though it would be quite smart to attack on me and finish me, the team which would do that would probably lose the game anyways, because they would waste lots of resources on finishing me. I still have a really strong army. They would actually need to coordinate like both teams together, attack me 4 pairs at once from 2 different sides. As they did before, they would have to continue that, but you can't really do that, of course, if you are not in a team. It seems like they kinda cleared it, but there is still so many archers on the barracks that I think they will have to retreat because they lost all of their ranged units. Probably because of these cannons as well. And now to fight just with knights against these buildings, I'm not too convinced about that. I'm just accumulating more and more units, yeah, almost 2000 food now being used. But definitely, the red and yellow team still has some decent income here. White player is also getting some resources, blue player here, so everyone still has some income, but I definitely should have the biggest income now, basically from 3 bases, even though they are pretty small. At least this one in the middle is basically fresh. Actually, the low player has another base here, he just needs to protect it, but that's also a huge income. And we can see that actually they managed to repel this attack. But they lost definitely lots of units, so now they need to somehow defeat the neutral enemies during the night, which they might struggle with a little bit. I'm trying to quickly set up some defense on all of my barracks. I even set up some barracks in the back here, but still probably not enough to protect me fully, so we'll lose some peasants. Still struggling with the food a little bit. We're still gathering resources here. I could have easily pushed this, but I had no idea that they are fighting this heavily against each other. I was really worried that they could push me at any time from both sides, so I was really just trying to stay a little bit more carefully defensive. There's a huge army on this side. Now here, because I don't have any defense and I needed to protect this. Lots of archers on the barracks around the map. And on this side I had this defense even with a cannon. Now we'll slowly start to transfer to this location, I think, where there is lots of wood that I want to gather, and also nice position to place some more farms. I could fully cover these areas, at least I would get rid of the skeletons on this side, but I never really gotten into that. I don't have too many peasants in this location that weren't gathering already. And even though I started splitting here a little bit, I probably didn't split every single peasant. And since I had peasants on other areas, like here, where I finished the gold, I just used them and immediately built the farms on those locations. Like, blue player wants to try another push. He has some knights here, but he doesn't have much food. He's getting really heavily harassed at home, even using his peasants to defend this with the box ability. Of course, that means he's not getting the food, so he's starving pretty heavily. White player in much better situation in terms of food and some defense against the neutral enemies, but he doesn't have too much of an infrastructure anymore. Yellow player also doing quite good. The red ally actually defending him this base. Unfortunately, he lost this base. Not sure why he has so many knights. He could easily repel it here, but he was just kinda ignoring it and lost the whole expansion there, which is a big problem. Blue player actually going for a new base here, which is definitely pretty smart. Now all bases will be taken except this one, if I count this one as well, but I don't know if it will survive. Probably yes, it's just starting, so I don't think the neutrals will finish this. And now it's also coming with units. So this is the last base that it's not taken yet, and I basically have the control of this area, so that's really good for me. Right now I have 2 incomes, here in the middle and here on the side. There is still some income here, 800, actually quite decent gold also here, but it's like 1 base. Then he will have second one here, so similar income for the blue player, and yellow player should also have similar income right here and here. While white player has only this small one, and red player is trying to steal some resources from here. So similar income for all the teams, I think. I still have this base as well, but I was really afraid that I have huge army here, strong protection. I saw the barricade before when I scouted here, so I was expecting some cannons behind that and everything. So I wanted to push this way, setting up barracks here instead of just making an expansion and then maybe losing it because of an enemy push. So I was preparing for an attack here. Unfortunately, or fortunately, doesn't really matter. I think someone will go into the middle, actually try to pressure it here, which will force me or make me go attack actually through the middle. I think the yellow player will now walk there with his archers and try to take this probably. As he finds out that it's mine. Try to probably kill it anyways and then I will react to it. Yeah, here are actually my goblins. Maybe those will actually lurk the blue player on me. I'm really not sure who will actually attack here. Overall, red player still staying pretty defensive. I'm not sure if there is any serious resources for him. 3000 gold, not much wood, so he can still get something. Yellow player, 14,000 gold, okay. He should definitely start doing something, and he even has some wood there. He doesn't have much food, but he should definitely produce more peasants for the gold he has. He doesn't have cap, no way. And he should start gathering this wood really effectively and create a huge army. Unfortunately for him, I'm already coming. Just quickly checked here, yeah, 3000 for the blue player. And his ally also 3000. Yeah, so the yellow player has the most resources by far. I'm trying to consistently spend it, but as you can see, I have already 2700 food available while using over 2200. So that's like a huge army, most likely more than any other two players together. Here is 1000 here and 700, so 1700 one team. And this one has 1100, 1400, so like 2500 maybe for the yellow and red team. Is similar to my units. But as you can see, they are already agreeing on another attack. The blue player with the white player. Where they are going right now. I don't think you can attack through here. Kinda interesting. But I'm already pushing here against the yellow guy. Tides fade here. Yeah, I guess they wanted to attack through here and didn't see the trees for some reason, but I think there is water anyways, so you can't really push there, even if you take out the trees. Yeah, now they realize that they should probably learn the maps a little bit more, but that comes with practice. Here we are pushing pretty nicely. Yeah, totally one-shotted this with 20 cannons. Here trying to... I think during this whole push against the yellow and red player down here, I lost maybe like 5 archers, something like that, and 0 knights, 0 cannons, so pretty good push here, just effectively using heals, trying to destroy quickly everything with cannons if we can, and then just archers for some support or target one-shotting some units if they raid here like this, for example. So still really good to have the archers there. Knights sometimes can't catch everything, and cannons are also really weak at protecting in melee range. These guys still trying to figure out some attack, but the whole army of the blue player, which is just nice basically, is still starving a lot. Here we just totally ran into their base. Destroyed everything we could. I still haven't set up the expansion here. But we have lots of resources from the kills. I'm probably still producing more units. And even though I have so much food available, I'm still keeping it pretty much same at the consumption. So I don't think we'll have to make more units, even though I'm still constantly producing more here for the middle. Also, we have another huge army here. It was actually used on this side in case the other team decided to attack on me. Then I would have some defense to protect myself. But yeah, we basically cleared the whole the whole yellow player. He calls it GG, and I think this will probably make this team change their strategy. Because now they realize that I somehow recovered and I totally destroyed the enemy team. I would expect them now to turn around and go push against me, but we will see what they do. I'm not exactly sure what will happen at this exact moment. But yeah, it seems like they are turning around and going against me. As I said, the blue player has basically only knights. Like 1400 foot of knights, of course some peasants, but mostly knights. 700 for the white player, which is mostly ogres and some archers. And this is the problem, because now I wanted to finish the red player and also some last buildings of the yellow player, even though I think he just left. And now I need to quickly retreat and somehow fight all of this. I had some units here in the middle, but it was definitely not enough against these leveled up knights with heals. This defense also wasn't enough, even though I had one cannon there. I tried to even set up some cannons here, but no way. When we have these tier 3 units and so many of them, even combination of both of them, it's really hard. Even though it seems like the white player doesn't even have the altar for the enrage. He doesn't even have citadel. But there are definitely at least heals of the blue player, so I tried to retreat. Unfortunately, it's also night now, so there will be skeletons everywhere. I need to protect my cannons, which are pretty slow, and they just continue running. They mostly just clear my peasants, maybe destroy main buildings, but outside of that they try to ignore as much as possible, just go for my economy as quickly as they can. Here I try to set up some more defensive cannons. Yeah, I have some archers behind it, but eventually I will just decide to run into it because they have so many units, and of course I can't just hold it with this. I'm finally catching up with them a little bit, but at the same time there are some more neutrals attacking me from different sides. The knight is definitely not helping this. Now they destroyed my strongest defense here, now they got onto my economy, but at the same time I realized that I have a second army here, so I'm just bringing more units, and now we totally destroy them from multiple sides. I have archers on top of barracks, I have huge army from down below and another huge army from the top, where we have another cannon on barracks with some extra archers. And even though they cleared this whole area, I still have decent food because they of course killed some units, also the peasants were taking some food, and I had really a lot, yeah, 2,700 food before, so even though we lost 500, it's still a decent income to keep me in the positive numbers. So that's really good. Since I have such a big map control, I can afford to have my economy in terms of food divided across the whole map, which helps definitely a lot. Also now when they did to the push, they don't have any defense, so the white player will lose this base, even though there wasn't any more gold anyways. At home they are also struggling a little bit, lots of harassment happening everywhere. The only player who is actually kinda okay now is the red player. He is playing really defensively and he has lots of archers at home, so he can really easily defend against any knight harassment. Now I decided to just quickly go. There is lots of skeletons that you'll need to clear. Obviously when you kill so many enemies, it starts spawning more skeletons. So this can be quite daunting, but since we have so many units, it's really easy for us. Yeah, level 3 knights and everything. Yeah, of course, immediately I'm starting to produce my peasants again in all of my bases. I will lose these barracks, that's kinda bad. Yes, but the main thing is that we don't lose any other things. I probably need to rebuild some farms, which I just did. I'm producing the peasants everywhere. Trying to rebuild my economy. Also, you need to rebuild this base. Now I don't even have any gold incomes, but I still have the strongest army on the map, so I'm immediately going for a push without waiting for anything. We want to first finish the blue and white team, who just tried to push against me. I already killed the yellow player, so the team down there is just not that dangerous. Even if the red player would try to attack on me, I just knew that there isn't too many more incomes. He could potentially take this, maybe even this income if I was not careful enough. He could have this potentially. But overall I was pretty confident that when I killed already the yellow player and also there were some red units at the same time, he just wasn't that big of a threat anymore, and I just wanted to take the last remaining full team. Unfortunately, the blue player actually decided to rush me from the top with some knights that he accumulated. Fortunately, I still have the strong defense everywhere to defend me against the knight harassment. So, I mean, like the knight enemies, not the knight guys on the horses from the blue player. But now it will be useful against them as well, because even though it's just few archers, it will just take them out anyways. I just retreat with my peasants so they don't die, and we should be pretty much okay. At the same time I already started accumulating some peasants on other places on the map. I will probably rebuild the expansions, yeah, right here first, and we should be pretty much fine. The white pair now surrendered, so now it's finally balanced. We don't have to fight against odds where the enemy teams would have more players. Now it's 3 teams and every team has only 1 player. But we still should have the majority of the map control. Red player is still gathering some resources from here, but he didn't even bother to build his bastion closer. Now this got destroyed, so he could build it there potentially, but it's probably worth it now to build it here instead. I'm setting up this base now. We still didn't finish all the knights, but I have some cannons prepared here. We will work them on us, and this should be pretty easy kill. We redistribute our peasants quickly. Once again, already back on 2,500 food. Red player actually decided to clear this expansion of the blue player, which I will of course decide to finish first, since I'm already here. It's much easier for me. Here I have one knight finishing the last barracks in this area of the white player base. Yeah, level 3 knight, double potion. Not really good. Here is some small defense, even a cannon. But we have 20 cannons, so this should be a quick process. Even started walking up on the barracks when I started shooting, so there was like a one shot. He has like 20 archers, yeah, so you don't really want to run into that, even though the knights can easily tank that if I use heals properly. But it's just much easier to clear it with cannons like this, and now we ran into them with our... right into them with our cavalry. At the same time I'm pushing from the other side. And some cannons there, even knights. Everything should be pretty easy. Red player is still trying to... Finally he started flying actively, but it's a little bit too late for him. I'm not sure if he's... Actually the yellow player... Yeah, the yellow player ended with 15,000 unspent gold. So definitely a huge mistake from him. Red player has like 3,000 gold, small income, but doesn't want to spend the last resources, seems like. Keeper also had few resources, but overall I should have the most resources now. I had 20,000 gold from all these skills. It's just totally insane how much resources you can get. We are back to 2.7 in terms of food income, and we are on 2.2 in terms of the consumption. I still didn't take this base again, but since we have this one now, we should have decent gold income, and I don't really need more gold. I just need to mainly gather some extra wood, or at least spend the gold on potions, even though we probably already have potions on these knights, even though we are fighting so much. If you use heals, you don't even have to use the potions too much. Here is one peasant we need to finish, and then just take the outpost, and the blue player should be out. Here actually the red player decided to push on me with some warriors. He has the shield ability and he's already in the melee range of my cannons. Fortunately I already brought my small group of archers. At the same time I started micromanaging these cannons a little bit, spreading them to different sides. So he either has to also spread, or he allows one of my cannons or even two of them to get out of his range and then shoot him. Sometimes I was even shooting above me with this artillery ability to deal at least some extra damage to him. And now also have these cannons if we need, or just we kill them with the archers, doesn't really matter. But some nice final scenario that happened here. Yeah, my cannons got a little bit stuck here behind the trees. My knights stayed here to finish the peasant, clear some last things. Yeah, we even upped the food a little bit to 2,900. A little bit more. We're finally setting up this base again. We have double gold income. And yeah, now I think I will finally realize that it's probably the outpost, so we will find it. He doesn't have any more units, it's just the outpost, so all we need is make a few swordsmen and capture it. At the same time we had some goblins down here that got killed immediately, but they are giving me some information. At least I know that he doesn't have this expansion, so that's kinda good information to have. If I found the expansion here with the goblins, I could quickly go destroy it if he was, for example, building it there. Or even the goblins would destroy it if he wouldn't have any protection. I also found some warriors now here. And they are just checking every single position, basically reducing the size of the map by checking all the areas and then moving through all the possible entrances to another part of the map. Once again scouting every single part of it, and once I have everything fully scouted and I walk through all the entrances so we can just walk around my army somewhere, then I know for 100% sure that he is not on this side of the map. I just need to take this so I have everything cleared out, and then I know that he's just below this area, so basically below the river, below this part. Goalkeeper surrendered immediately when I came with the swordsman, even though I didn't capture it yet. And here we just ran in. I didn't even fully wait for my cannons. I was just really sure that if I do this properly, we shouldn't lose anything. I'm using the cannons to clear the barracks again. Archers also for some extra easier kills. At the same time, we have the goblins here on this side, clearing his expansion, but he doesn't have any more income anyways. We have 2600 used food, lots of gold to remake our army, of course full food in stock. Also decent food now, night is coming, so we might have some problems, but to be honest, I still have decent defense everywhere. Yeah, we have lots of full barracks of archers, or even castles and forts, even some more armies just randomly grouped up around the map. And plus that we have this strong push army, yeah? So if I actually took everything I have on the map, I would probably have all of my control groups full of units. But it just wouldn't really need it. Yeah, if I have this army, I'm usually pretty fine just pushing with this, which is 3 groups of units, yeah, 20 knights, 20 archers and 20 cannons. That's my favorite army composition to push in the late game. Sometimes you can add also 20 swordsmen with shields, but then it's question if it isn't just better to add 20 more knights. It doesn't really matter what you decide to do. Yeah, eventually he calls it GG as well, surrenders, and even though there is 20 more seconds, I think all players should be out now, so let's just wait it out. Nothing more interesting should be happening. So pretty interesting game, 54 minutes and 50 seconds. I think it was pretty intense in certain moments. Probably the hardest moment was when we were fighting here in the enemy base of the white player with white and blue, and at the same time we got pushed from the other side. That could have definitely been our end if they continued pushing, but as I said, if one of the teams actually committed to finishing us, they would for sure lose the game, because the other team would just have much stronger army and they would finish them. While the team would actually push me, would lose many units because I still had decent armies, so it was kinda smart from them. They just weren't able, either of them, to finish the other team quickly enough to actually also finish me. And since I decided to go for some nice macro approach, I was able to pretty quickly recover and gain the upper hand, so really nice. So let's check the results. Overall we had the most resources, 60,916 gold. Just from mines. Of course we got a lot of more from kills, but I'll get to that in a second. Also the most lumber, 22,158. Most units trained, even though not by that much, but still like more than 100 more. And Soulskeeper and Isletter, who had the most after me. Units killed most by far, yeah, no one was even close with like half of that, so 827, so that gave me lots of resources. At the same time, by far the most neutral kills thanks to the map control, so just this alone probably gave me more resources than this whole gold mine, so it's like totally crazy, combined with the most wood. Of course I had the strongest army and most units produced, and we also had the best infrastructure, so we are able to reproduce the army really quickly. Also all the farms that I made to be even able to feed such a big army definitely required lots of structures. Also I got totally destroyed by the yellow player and also red player a little bit, then actually later the blue player as well with the white player, so everyone was destroying my buildings constantly, my economy, so I had to rebuild all of that, and that of course means that I also had to construct more buildings. In terms of lost units, it was a lot, but still a really good kill ratio. Most units lost were actually by Soulskeeper, and also Isletter lost a little bit more units than me. But yeah, pretty nice game. I hope you enjoyed it. Maybe you learned something from it, even though I think the ranked games, ranked 1v1s are a little bit better for learning something. But if you are playing a lot of these team games, it's sometimes good to also take a look on some of these replays. I think it can give you some of the information, maybe what to do in situations where you have such a bad spawn with your ally and you can't really work together. Because if you can work together with your ally, it's of course much easier. You can launch pushes from two sides, or maybe just a strong push from one side with your ally together. If you are alone, it's much more difficult, so then you have to definitely make some compromises, come up with some interesting moves, and that's what I did here. So yeah, thanks for watching and take care guys.